I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow. Yeah,
coming in with the boom. Oh, triple kill!
Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go.
Right, here comes him, and here comes the graviton. Minefield, triple kill!
Let's go, let's go!
Bacon coming in with the nano and the sleep chart onto the monkey. Oh, right over the edge!
Yeah. Let's go!
Save with the transcendence! One, two, three, quadruple kill!
Yeah. Let's go! Yeah. Let's go, let's go!
Coming out with the blade, quad, quintuple, sextuple kill!
Let's go! If I know what I want, then I know what I get. If I go, they can win, cause they know I get lit. I'm a pro, not a myth, and my flow got some wit. Never slow, drink a fit. I get hype, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. I get hype for the shit. Here I go, I get lit.
Welcome to the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims Diamond Division.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here tonight. I am the Loud T-Rex, aka the Silent Velociraptor, and I'm joined here by the Hidden Pants himself, the Crunch Bite. How you doing tonight, bud? Why would you do chocolate muffins during the stream? You know how hard that is to talk with a muffin in your mouth? An adult you may be, but that is the absolute worst to try to say something with a full mouth. Going off of that, I do want to give some thank you to Elfie here for the subscription. Going 8 months strong. Please, those of you who are watching, please let your friends know. Tell your mom, tell your granddad, whoever it is that you got. Go ahead and just give us a sub, a follow. Everything that comes to us goes right back to you guys, and so on and so forth. So that way we can give you guys a little bit more in terms of the, in terms of giveaways, stuff like, things of that nature. Crunch Bite. So we're gonna have Komodo versus Salt. What do you expect tonight, man? Ooh, some Overwatch gameplay at a diamond level. Now, fortunately, it seems like people can't hear you right now, which makes me relatively sad. So, give us 1 second, folks, as we go ahead and just figure out just why it is that we can't hear the crunching bite. That he is here. He's actually screaming into the mic, but it's. But it seems like we're going to be altering just a few things here while we figure this out. So just while we're going to go ahead and do this here, there's a lot to really unpack here tonight. There's a lot to be expecting, specifically from Komodo. They've been playing extremely well. And I really want to know just what they're going to be doing here throughout the remainder of this, of what we got going on. Hold on 1 second, folks. We still have quite a bit to try to figure out here. Crunchbite, what did you do to your mic, man? Alrighty, here we go once again. Try it again, bud. Alright, well, he's going to go ahead and figure that out. There's going to be a lot going on here tonight between Komodo and Salt.exe. Now, Salt.exe's got quite a bit to do. You know, they've been playing relatively well, but really Komodo's been coming out on top. They've been playing extremely well. Clever's been playing. Xandiv's been playing really well. And we're going to have Sips T here to really help out, really try to get things completely in order. Elfie, the win condition is probably going to be, well, if they've got Genji, Genji's going to be great here, predominantly against Komodo. Now, Mr. Clever is an incredibly gifted Genji as well. You cannot deny that. So it needs to be said that, you know, there's definitely a lot of back and forth. There can be a lot that comes in, specifically if you're going to have Till playing on his signature Moira. But it really just depends on what the outcomes are, or what the outcomes are going to be, and how really we're going to get things in order. Stop it, Elfie. Oh my goodness. Crunchbite, you back with us, man?
Victory.
Alrighty, we're going to try and get Crunchbite out here. And it looks like there's some issues still kind of going on, man. People just can't seem to hear you. What did you do?
Victory.
Give that a try one more go. There we go. I think you've kind of got it down. Let's see. Can the folks back home hear it? Ooh, a lot of subscriptions here from Amara and Bacon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the love that you guys are giving the rest of us. Oh, man. And it looks like you're still having...
Ready for battle.
Here, hang on. How about this? Alright, what about this? What about now? Am I a beautiful...
Try to give us a little something there, Crunchbite. Can you hear us? Okay, buddy, hear us.
I am just a small boy that just wants nothing more. Yes, sir.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Alrighty, here they go in for the very first match. It's
I
gonna
am
be a bit of an
here.
issue here. Hit me! Hit me!
I believe that there is some things.
The objective is now
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Alrighty, here we go. Finally, everything is starting to work. Technical problems are starting to come in, but we're starting to see
I can hear you.
What's up?
I can hear you.
Alrighty, here we go. Finally, everything is starting.
Oh. These teams are just heavily aggressive, especially with the limited supply of ultimates that are actually been coming off. It just seems like it's only been just staggering ults that have just been used one by one by one. If Komodo wants to have any sort of chance of actually pushing forward and actually taking this point for themselves, they need to be making sure to be comboing those ultimates and be using them when needed, especially when the other team is down by 2 or 3 picks.
Incredible work here from Salt.exe, man. What do you think?
It's very impressive for them this evening. They've been showing quite well coordination for them this evening, and I gotta say, for them just barely able to use their ultimates as willy-nilly as such, I believe the one problem Komodo did have just trying to push it up was Clever saving his blade for as long as he did. There needs to be those times where you can combo with that blade or you just have to use it. It's better to just drop an ultimate in anticipation of hoping to use it rather than just holding onto it and not using it at all.
Do you feel like some of the ults might have been a little bit misplaced? I mean, obviously you're saying willy-nilly, so, but I feel like they really could have been a little bit better in terms of how they were going to use those.
I mean, for most of what it was going on during those fights, it was a lot of semi-coordinated attacks that were just only happening with the main tank and the off tank. The DPS were kind of just going off and doing what they needed to, but they weren't getting the picks. So it was just rough whenever the picks weren't coming in, so the main tank and the off tank had no room to play.
So Haxal takes out Mishra, Sips T up into the forefront, gets taken out by Till, and it looks like Komodo's gonna have to go ahead and back off as Berkey up into the forefront, although Chillbro finding his way into the back line, taking out San Ives, and that's gonna be difficult here as it seems that Salt.exe is gonna get onto the point here in a little bit once they actually secure this fight. Mishra in the forefront, in some trouble as he tries to take on 2-on-1 at the same time. Cal looking for a pick but not managing to land anything, and Salt goes in on the offensive with 1% and climbing.
Very impressive. Also, just so that way me and you are both on the same page, Haskell is Genji's alt account.
Ooh, and here comes a heavy pick from Cal. From Mishra, manages to knock this one out of the park as Komodo's trying to find their footing, getting in on the point. Xanice takes out a Wind's Plague, and although Chillbro in a bad spot gets taken out by Mr. Clever himself as we're going up 3% to 23.
Woo! Quite impressive this evening, especially with the changeover to Brigitte to just have some stunned lockdown on the flanking DPS that were just the McCree coming in. But with that being said, that's definitely helping out with the Reinhardt as well to be sure that he can push up and have that aggressive behavior along with having the heal percentage from coming out of the brig.
Ooh, the ultimates are coming out. Till's looking to keep people alive with the Kamehameha, although Chillbro could have been in some serious danger. But right now, Salt.exe making waves, getting in on the point, managing to finish it off, and Haxal, which is Genji, for those of you at home, and those of you who don't know, I'll probably just keep calling them Genji, is doing incredibly well right now, playing a little bit more with a hit scan, not really playing that divey character that we're just so used to seeing him in.
I mean, now with the big changes that were implemented months ago about the McCree changes with the flashbang and the roll, with that it's just also just the amount of damage that he can push off to any sort of target that is just easily able to just get within the flashbang range.
Ooh, and the 1-2 punch comes in, and the dragons come out. Cal takes out Clever, but that's not going to be enough as Komodo finds their way, makes life difficult with the Zarya and the dragon combo. Just great work, even with a Lucio ult. That's still not going to be enough. Alrighty, here they go. Here they go in one more time. The ultimate from the Brigitte helps teams go forward with a nano boosted Sips T, and the looks like the mines are coming in here into the back line. Aldo Chilbro looking for a pick, and it seems like the rest of Salt.exe is slowly starting to make their way onto the point. The hammer down comes in from Sips T. He's looking for the victory and manages to hold this one off 65 to 55%. Incredible work here from Komodo.
Oh, there's a lot of anticipation for just seeing a lot of things happening all at once, but it just looks like it's just happening one at a time, and that's kind of not like how I want to see this Overwatch. And very nice pick over from Aldo Chilbro.
Aldo Chilbro playing incredibly well today, using that positioning to really make it work, and the hammer down from Berkey. Oh, here comes the Genji ultimate from Genji himself, looking for picks, lands it on one of them, and Salt.exe is going to be able to assert their dominance as Genji himself makes the appearance. Aldo Chilbro in a bad spot, gets anti-nated, but gets his way out of there. Berkey in the front line, looks for a pick, misses. This could be dangerous as oh no! It looks like the bomb happened to land. Cal doesn't seem to get a single kill. However, Haxal takes out Mishra, and Salt.exe holding it in 85%. Haxal making life difficult here for Komodo. They've got to hurry up and make something happen. Cap'n Sips T starts off on the offensive. The Brigida ultimate right behind him, but Aldo Chilbro goes ahead and swings them in, brings down the mines, and the Rhine battle starts off into the forefront. Here comes the Graviton Surge looking for a pick. Sips T tries to go in, tries to make it work. Clever in the back line, looking for Berkey. Almost makes it, but no, he gets pinned. Terrible time. The Brigida ultimates are out, and Salt.exe is gonna really bring this forward, and they win the first map of the night. Salt.exe up 1-0, right?
What a match we have this evening.
Ooh,
Oh,
a Brigida.
what is a Brigida?
Left click W, man. Left click W does wonders. Let me tell you what. That was incredible work there from Salt.exe. I feel like once Genji really came out into his own, I guess you could say his main. I mean, it was night and day, really. He plays a really good. He plays a really good McCree, though. That much you have to concede.
Yeah, his shots have been landing really well, and like I was saying earlier, as long as McCree was able to land that flashbang, the fan just does devastating amounts of damage, especially against even tankier targets. And it just definitely showed this evening that with that kind of powerful combination and your aggressive tank being able to just take down the other big defensive shield holding up and blocking that backline, it's going to be an absolutely terrible, terrible time for anybody who's trying to go up against that kind of terrifying McCree.
Alrighty, Elfie with the cheers, going in against the cheer wars. She's gone up over just about 199 cheers above Zenthoxin. Let's see if Zen will go ahead and make it work. Now, I am going to ask you a question. What do you think is really making it for Salt.exe? Do you think it's just the DPS, or do you think it could be something a little bit more?
I would definitely say the healing was definitely spot on this tonight for Salt.exe. There was a lot more connections between just where Wind's Plague until we're playing with each other and helping keep their tanks alive and well. And even when the Rhino was antied, he was still making sure to get that Zarya debuff onto him. And I gotta say, the one thing that's been helping out Salt is just their coordination. It's showing very well this evening, and with Komodo having one new person this evening and having a sub, it's going to be really hard to try and figure out what needs to get coordinated, what needs to be said, and what needs to get achieved, so that way everybody can move forward as such. But I would definitely say Salt has a little bit of a higher advantage this evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this particularly because it's gonna bother both Sniv, Danks, and Elfie. What do you think is going to be Komodo's win condition for tonight if they keep playing the way that they're playing?
With that, I would definitely say just going back to just bread and butter combos, just making sure to have the Hanzo Zarya combo, because even with the Lucio ult just stopping it, it won't be enough damage with the additional Reinhardt swings with it. And just simply sticking to just easier comps that are just much better to coordinate on, and healing wouldn't be such an issue. So the best three comps would always be either dive comp would be something that would be a little bit more tedious, but could be done relatively well, especially with Clever as the Genji. 2-2-2 comp as a Death Bally comp, and it just, you can can just press W, move forward, and just abuse what Reaper can just absolutely shred on tanks. Or Goat's Comp. Goat's Comp works incredibly well due to just the amount of hyper aggression that comes off of everyone from the team, and they're all able to push forward, and they're able to use those ultimates
I mean,
cordially.
we've been
I'm
through
trying to
this
think of the right
before,
word.
though. Goats is not the win-all, end-all, like composition. It is a great composition, but do you feel that with the Reaper change recently, Goats has gotten significantly weaker, or is it still something that really requires a lot of proper teamwork and a lot of proper positioning in order to make it work?
No, Goats is still an incredibly strong comp. Even to all the changes of armor, all the changes that happened to Brigida, there's still one thing that makes Goats comp incredibly strong, and it's just the mass amount of damage, of AoE damage that can come off. You have 3 different people that can easily just come forward and swing outward to where they can easily hit multiple targets at once, and that's just what makes it incredibly strong. Just having a Ryan and a Brig just forward swinging for almost 100 damage a swing against multi-targets, that's incredible. And with having the heals and possibly even having the Zen Discord damage to follow up with it, that's insane to see targets just go down that quickly based on just the basic movement abilities. But I would honestly say Goats just revolves so well around Lucio, because it just, once you get that hyper aggressive team that can push W and keep moving forward, Lucio complements that so well by just making everybody move incredibly faster and just getting right into their face and getting into the forefront of the action. So I wouldn't say the Brig is the biggest issue. I would definitely say it's just movement. Like, there's not a whole lot of things that can easily isolate certain targets that come down from it. Except for if there's Zenyatta, then Doomfist and Pharah can do easily well to isolate those single targets. But it's that amount of aggressive behavior boils down to, if you're just going to have a game to where who's ever DPS can do better, would it be better for your DPS to have more health to where they can survive longer, or would it be better to just have that needlepoint precision to take out those weaker targets when they're surrounded by all those beefy tanks that can't hold on as long?
All right, folks, you heard the questions here from the Hidden Pants himself, and these are things that you should probably consider when you are getting into your matches. Now, we're going in underway with our second match here on Eichenwalde, and it looks like Salt.exe is coming in aggressively. They want to continue the W's, but Mishra taking out Berkey quickly, and this is relatively difficult here for the side of Salt.exe. Mishra has been a force tonight on the side of Komodo. The Reaper trying to come in, but not managing to make anything work. Haxal's really trying to get this working, but without a tank really there to help him out, this could be dangerous. He's looking in for a flank. Aldo Chilbro making the space. Oh, and Berkey looking for a pick, manages to land it on Clever. Zips T follows up behind, but Komodo in a very bad spot with the Reaper coming in onto the point. Aldo Chilbro finishes this off, and that was a really quick team kill here from Salt.exe.
Reaper is a devastating force, especially with complementing with the Widow picks. That is absolutely insane amount of damage that can be pushed out incredibly fast just against that kind of a beefy comp.
Oh, and here they come in, the sniper battle, Cal versus Mishra. Who's going to get another one on the oof counter? And it may be Cal. Cal manages to actually land it. Makes it work. Mr. Clever and the rest of the team up top with Aldo Chilbro with a 360 spin looking for a pick. Cal getting the sun, and oh, the hammer down comes in from Berkey. Oh, manages to make it work. Zen Ives on the Lucio in a bad spot, and Salt.exe, just incredible work here. Oh, here we go with a sub. Thank you so much for Jag the Nerd for subscribing yet again, man. I appreciate it. Oh man, so Crunch, this offense here from Salt.exe is something just terrifying.
With the aggressive behavior of just getting those picks from this, just from the Widow, and just having the Reaper just push up and easily just keep getting the tank picks down, of course it's just going to be absolutely devastating. They just need to make sure, though, to focus down on where that aggressive behavior is coming from, and those are definitely from the Rhine and the Reaper, and just putting a hard stomp to it, whether it's a hard stun or whether it's something that just creates that sort of distance, sort of just as Pharah or even just a sniper, let alone, it's making sure to cap that kind of aggressive behavior and then just follow up on it and just put that same amount of pressure back onto them.
All right, off camera, Cal's fighting the sun as Clever lands a pick on Bird. Berkey, and Komodo not out of the fight yet. The Sun manages to beat Cal out of camera, and Komodo with the comeback hammer, incredibly powerful, runs in, and they're going to manage to hold it with just 0.84 meters left on the distance gauge.
That aggressive behavior definitely shows, and whenever it's coordinated well enough, you can easily just stop that kind of any sort of DPSing that immediately follows up. Because as soon as Reaper was getting contested on, the Rhine and the Hammond immediately backed out, and they were just saying, no, we don't want any of this, and they had to regroup while they were getting picked down one by one.
Ooh, the pick there, Cloud of Mr. Clever. Oh, and here comes the Angry Monkey, but no, this could be a waste as the hammer down comes out from Berkey, manages to land it on O.C.C, but this could be trouble. No, manages to get out of there. Aldo Chilbro making it work, but he could be a little bit out of position, gets frozen, and the rest of Komodo managed to take him out. Incredible work here as they start pushing back. Salt.exe, hammer, a force to be reckoned with as the main tank for Komodo at this point. With Mr. Clever now switching over to a little bit more of a dive hero. I mean, Salt.exe has a lot to work with, or work against right now. Wouldn't you say, Crunchbite?
Would I say? Would I say? Wait, what am I saying?
Yeah, these teams are all over the place at this point, though. There's battles happening above, below. I mean, they're all relatively spaced out, but I feel like it has to be done in that particular manner. They're not. Oh my goodness! Incredible work there from the Sun, and just picks everywhere at this point. Cal gets taken out by the diving Mr. Clever, and Salt.exe cannot figure out how they're going to beat this defense.
I would definitely say, for the sake of what's going on for Salt.exe, it needs to be a slower walk with Reinhardt so that way his shield can actually push forward and not just immediately charging in and getting picked off immediately before even anything else could happen. Good reset over on Haskell.
Oh, and here comes Cal now on the Pharah. There is no hit scan. However, if Mishra can make it work, this could be dangerous for Komodo. That being said, it still is a long way to the end of the bridge, and the tanks going at it. The Winston v. Winston with Aldo Chilbro helping out. Here comes the bomb. Oh, lands it on Hammer, and that's going to be big for Salt.exe if they can capitalize. O.C.C having to back off, but a Winds Plague landing it on Zan Ives. Oh, and here comes the May ultimate, the Diva ultimate to back it up. Takes out Hacksaw. But it looks like they're getting the picks that they need. O.C.C in a very good spot, manages to take out manages to take out Berkey. Hammer might have gotten put to sleep, but now he is a rampaging monkey. It is a 3v1 right now as Hammer manages to land the pick on Haxal. The Far Mercy still up into the sky. Cal taking out the Sun, and here comes Clever with the mid-air pick as the Genji looking for another one. Oh, a Winds Plague managing to back him off, but with the return, putting him to sleep. Aldo Chilbro coming out with the save. Incredible work here. This could be trouble for Salt.exe. Mishra trying to take out Aldo Chilbro. Haxel still up at the top, trying to go in for a flank. Salt.exe still can't seem to make it work as the Far Mercy is still up in the sky. Zan Ives takes out Haxel with only 10 seconds left on the clock. This is bad. Berkey gets nano boosted, looking for picks. Cal managing to make it, but gets reflected. Here comes the high noon from Mishra himself. Doesn't look like it works, but Zan Ives pops the ultimate. Gets anti-nated with Aldo Chilbro, the two tanks pushing their way in, but Berkey gets anti-nated. Oh, and here comes a nano-boosted Brigitte looking for picks. Berkey getting put into a corner, gets taken out. Aldo Chilbro trying to swing around, trying to hold it, but that's not going to be it, with Komodo making a decisive hold on the second point of Eichenwald.
Very, very strategic hold held up by Komodo, especially for a dive comp that was strategically just going in, taking out those small little picks and taking out every one of those people that are just pushing forward as such.
I mean, I feel like Salt was a little bit rushed, though. Wouldn't you say? Like they were kind of rushing it a little bit too much, especially when they did have. I mean, Komodo had a Mei, and you can't just try to rush into a Mei. I feel like if you don't have the proper assets, it's too much. Because a Mei is really going to be a tank stopper. And once you have a team that focuses down a frozen target, that's it, man.
I would think that Salt's biggest issue that they were going with was just deciding on which plan of attack that they were going with. It was immediately showing that it wasn't working well whenever they were running straight into Castle and they were just getting instantly destroyed. But then Salt's side was also showing that Berkey can't just go charging willy-nilly, because then with that kind of coordination based off of the Winston and Diva, and especially with that freezing power that can be definitely heavily shut down anybody that comes anywhere close, it just removes that one person entirely from the fight. And removing your main tank that quickly is a big no-no, because then you have absolutely no frontline shield to protect your backline. With that though, it's just making sure to follow up on where the team needs to be going. And if it was just a straightforward attack straight onto the bridge with Cal on the Pharah being pocketed by the Mercy and just putting out that heavy damage, I think they would have been able to have a much better time. But it was just making those decisions and trying to go with them as quickly as possible. And I gotta give you at least that. It was definitely feeling more rushed than anything else.
Oh, and here comes Komodo looking for a quick W. Cal on the Doomfist gets out with his life. Aldo Chilbro goes down for the pile driver, but the rest of the team backing him off. He does have the Zen Orb, and the picks are coming in. Cal manages to DMAX Sips T, but it looks like the rest of Komodo rushing in onto the point. Aldo Chilbro not able to do anything. And incredible work done here by Komodo with the goats, man. Well, it's
goats.
not goats. It's a form of goats, isn't it?
No, this is goats.
Oh, yeah?
This is currently the best version of goats because of the heavy amount of damage that Zenyatta Discord can do, plus with the heavy amount of just single target healing. The one person that you definitely want to be sure you're topping off very consistently is the Reinhardt, but with everybody else on the team, you can easily run around with just the AoE healing effects from Lucio and Brigitte. And with that, you also have the inclusion of a defensive ult as well with it. But it looks like there's going to be some changes done for the DPS side.
Ooh, Mr. Clever switching over to the Widowmaker, looking to try to counter the Far Mercy combo. Now there's a Far Mercy mirror match going up into the sky. A Winds Plague trying to help out and trying to make it work. Oh, but the sleep on Haxal takes him out. Cal takes out the Sun though. This could be dangerous. Oh, but with Stan Ives bringing back the Sun, it is now a 6v5 situation. Here comes a drum from Berkey. Berkey manages to take out Clever, and the picks are coming in hard. Mishra gets taken out, and that's going to be Komodo having to back off here while Salt gets himself set up, and Cal picks up the last kill here at the end.
That was a lot of things that were just getting called uncoordinated, but at the end of it all, it was just trying to keep that kind of pressure from the DPS moving while the tanks were just taking an enormous amount of damage from the front line.
Alright, looks like Mr. Clever switched off the Widowmaker, switching over to the Hanzo, trying to be a little bit more of a force, but here comes the mines from Aldo Chilbro. Hammer trying to be a bit of a minesweeper, but Aldo Chilbro lands the kill on Clever. Hammer, however, takes out Aldo Chilbro. Sips T having to regroup with the rest of the team, and Komodo still not done yet. The revive comes in, and here comes the picks. Genji pops out the blade, looks for a pick. Is he going to land another one? No, misses on the Mercy, goes against the Reinhardt, but he is the only one left onto the point, gets taken out, and Komodo pushing their way in. They're getting close here to the bridge phase, folks. They've got just a little bit further to go. They've only got one more hold.
One more hold. I gotta say, for the amount that they are trying to dedicate into this Orisa, I would just say just run a complimentary dive hero that could easily be pushed with it, but oh no, the Hammond.
Oh, and here they come. Zen Ives bring back Mishra after Haxal managed to take him out. The Far Mercy combo still incredibly deadly as Haxal gets his way inside. It is a frenzy right now as they're trying to get onto the point. Oh no, the ulting Pharah gets taken out. The bomb just a little bit too high, zoning out a lot of space just at the very end, and no!
Oh no, everybody's jumping off.
They're going in for the hard reset though. Hard reset.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
I gotta give them that. I feel like that's something that a lot of people, at least particularly in the lower elos, don't necessarily do. They try to, 1v6 everyone, and mean, honestly, all you got to do is wait at that point.
You have to just get that kind of coordination down with your team. If there are those crucial picks that are down, saying the main heals is down and the main tank is down, I would say if you feel confident in what kind of picks you've been maintaining for the whole evening, then you can make this kind of decision. But it looks like that's not going to be working out so well for NaCl.exe this evening.
No, even with Haxal popping out the ultimate, looking for picks, takes out Zen Ives, but with only 13 health and the rest of Komodo on the point, they managed to secure that victory.
Oh, big time. And with that, we have a Hammer play of the game.
It was that last little bit.
Yeah, it was.
You can't.
Very nice.
Yeah, you can't deny that, man. You cannot. Yeah, that was incredibly good play. Just getting past that barrier. You know, some people just sit there and poke at the barrier, and I sometimes wonder why. Just get behind it. Get behind it, hammer down, easy clap.
It's that intimidation of the same concept of not shooting a Zarya bubble due to you are giving that Zarya charge. When you are crossing that threshold with the Orisa, that means no other bullets can be penetrating that shield, including an Ana bullet that might be able to possibly save. So if everybody's able to move forward as such and easily able to just get past that whole shield together, then absolutely it works wonderfully for everybody on the team. But it's also, if you cannot, then that is something heavily advised against, because no way of healing can be done through that shield unless you have enough DPS to break it.
Very true, very true. All right, folks. Well, we've gone and hit the halftime. Right now, Komodo and Salt on a 1-1 tie. Today, we might actually get the legendary Game 5 with the way both of these teams are playing. So please, at this time, we're going to be showing you the video shown by Madam Elfie herself. You know, grab some beer, grab some popcorn, grab some drinks. Come on back, and we'll see you here in about 5 minutes.
What is that? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Nice.
J'accepte les demandes spéciales. Que souhaitez-vous entendre? Sécurité!
What they hit do? What they hit do?
All right, everybody. Thank you for waiting. That was Elfie's time in Paris. As you can see, she was having an absolute wonderful time just checking out the scopes. I can't wait until this map is finally released. What about you, Crunch?
I'm halfway excited for it. The map looks really, really good, but it's also a 2CP map.
Oh,
So
what do you got against 2CPs?
2CP maps are the worst, especially with how they're always drawn out to where it's the defense side, and you have to play around just everyone on your team anticipating, okay, we've got these picks, we can make sure to push up when we can, and by that time there will be just one person that they just won't do their job correctly, and so far you have a Lucio just stalling the point, and the whole team is just respawned and is just able to just re-sweep it, and it's just like, well, we got to 99%, but we still got to get another tick.
And now here we are trying to do the impossible, trying to hold people off.
Yes, so it's just absolutely insanely no bueno when trying to go up against 2CP maps. Like, it's just not a good time.
I mean, maybe. I think that's a personal preference. I enjoy 2CPs. I personally enjoy Hanamura. I think that's one of my favorites. But all right, here we go into Full Sky Industry. Speaking of 2CP, so we're going to get some 2CP action here, and I'm excited for it. I mean, what kind of compositions do you think we're going to be coming in with tonight, bud? Or at least here.
I am definitely seeing on the side of Salt the traditional 2-2-2 comp. It's just a very straightforward and easy comp to work with, but I would say with the heavy emphasis of the Nanoblade and also the Hanzo Zarya Graviton. But I would say for Komodo, it's a little bit of a toss-up. They did dive this evening. They've done 2-2-2. They've done goats. Only thing that I haven't seen this evening is pirate ship comp.
Ugh, the pirate ship comp. I'm not a fan. And that's the thing. I don't mind, like, if you can play Symmetra, Torb, and Bastion properly, and you can really make that cheese comp work, fine, make it work, because it is part of the game.
That's not the pirate ship. The pirate ship is where you just set up on the payload and then you just pretend the payload's a pirate ship.
No, I get that. What I'm trying to get at is like I consider that a very cheesy comp. Predominantly because there's really not a lot of movement. You know, there is a lot of movement from the tanks. There is a lot of movement from the other DPS players, but you're really, really, really anchored to that payload. There's really not a lot of extra movement that you can do.
Well, that's the point. You want it to be utilized heavily on the whole defensive, we are going to lock this area down and we are going to defend it no matter what. It's just playing protect the boss. And I gotta say, there's a lot of ways you can work around it, and it's cheesy, but I don't think it's the end-all be-all.
Alrighty, here they go in. Salt.exe coming in with the Genji as Mishra up into the skies looking for a pick. Ooh, the Genji v Pharah battle coming in, but Mishra not managing to land anything. And here comes Salt.exe making it work. Ooh, with the 1-2 combo. Berkey taking out Clever, and this could be bad already as Genji looking for that pick on Mishra. And DPS battles coming in strong. Berkey comes out, lands it on Hammer, and starts swinging away, but gets put to sleep. That's still not going to be enough, though, as Berkey is woken up, takes out Zen Ives, and Salt.exe, still relatively salty from that loss, comes out quickly with 3 minutes, and now going to be 6 minutes on the clock.
That kind of coordination between the Orisa and Hog is absolutely critical when playing against this kind of comp, and it was just really shown that once Hammer tried to get a pull out or even just try to have some initial backline, Sips T was just not there able to help their just even try and stop the Rhine charge with the Orisa. You gotta be sure whenever you're playing that kind of comp to have that kind of special coordination between those two kind of tanks.
Ooh, and Clever taking out a wins play. Cal looking for a pick in the back line. And Genji looking for a pick on Mishra. I don't know what his vendetta is against him tonight. Oh, but he manages to take him out. Here comes the Genji blade. Genji comes out with a triple. Is this going to be a quadruple against Hammer? And yes, it is. Salt.exe, an extreme powerhouse tonight with 6 minutes on the clock. Komodo has got to hurry up and get onto the point, but they don't make it. Wow, that was insane. Crunch bite.
Insane, you say?
0 to 2.
It was very obvious that at that point they were able to push in. Once they were able to get those 2 backline picks, plus Genji just getting that nano off, or not just the nano, just the blade off, and just getting that immediate triple kill to where Berkey and them can just swing to their heart's content. At that point, it was just, well, they don't have any ultimates. They just swapped off of their current heroes just to try and gain some ultimates. So it was a hard thing to witness, but yes, Salt did an incredibly wonderful job in just pushing in, taking what was theirs, and just cleaning up that backline to stop any sort of shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-2-2 combo that they were running, I feel is extremely effective. And honestly, Genji, Haxel playing Genji, who is Genji, was playing really aggressively, really getting in that back line and just making life difficult, especially when he managed to land that quick pick on the Zen. I mean, if you go back and look at it, he, like, within the split second he got the pick, boom, there was a Genji blade.
Yeah, and it's just those little crucial moments that can determine whether the game goes on forever or if the game just stops at any given moment.
But now Komodo has their chance in the spotlight, their chance to push it forward, and they are gonna be running it again. It's the goats.
It's a good goats comp.
Hey, listen, I don't mind the goats comp. I feel like it really requires a lot of team coordination, and Komodo's going to show us what they've got as they push their way in. Genji, or Haxal, who is Genji playing Genji, in their backline looking for a pick. Oh, tries to get in on the Zenyatta, but the rest of the team manages to make it difficult. A Windsplague with a Hail Mary brings it from downtown, takes him out, and we're seeing red over blue as Salt.exe holds and really shows their dominance on this point.
With that kind of heavily aggressive behavior, that goats comp just has to be equally as aggressive towards it. If there's any wiggle room for the defending team to immediately slide into their back ranks and get those picks, it is not going to be a good time for this kind of team to push forward with the proper tools.
With the Symmetra really doing work, it could be difficult. And here comes Berkey looking for a pick, but Mishra taking out Cal. And it's a brawl right now. Haxal in some trouble. And here comes Hammer looking for a pick. Oh, the hammer down comes out, and that's going to be a pick by Berkey. Here comes the Genji ultimate looking for a pick. Gets 1, gets 2. Oh, is he going to end up with 3? And it just might be it. Sips T in a bad spot. And the Zenyatta is easy cake right now as Till and... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is going to be Till and Genji finishing off that final kill. Incredible work here from Salt.exe.
Very good coordination coming out from Salt.exe. It is absolutely showing a tremendous amount of job, but I don't think it's Symmetra doing so much for this. I still think it's just Genji putting in that backline DPS, and it's just immediately getting those backline picks and just putting in as much pressure as possible.
Oh, and the Kamehameha comes out from Till as he's looking for a pick, getting backed up by Till, trying to make it work, but the Sun takes out Berkey. That's main tank here for Salt.exe. Haxal manages to land that pick on Hammer, and here comes the shield from Cal. Mishra, the only one left on point as Aldo Chilbro takes out the Sun. Mishra trying to get out, but that's not going to be it. 1 minute and 47 seconds on the clock. Salt.exe is really showing their dominance here tonight.
That aggressive behavior is really paying off for Salt.exe this evening. They're doing an absolutely crack-up job of just keeping this kind of crazy Komodo Dragon team in check against this kind of Goats comp. And I would just say as long as they're able to keep applying the same amount of pressure during every one of their fights and is just keeping work on just keeping those ultimates at bay, they definitely have this second point lockdown.
All right, looks
Or they definitely have first point.
They got a roster change here relatively quickly, and the hammer down comes out from Berkey, doesn't go in for the pick, and Berkey landing too. Here comes the Graviton Surge. Haxal in some trouble, but manages to get out. Cal picks up the pick on Mishra, and oh no, Sips T is demeched and by himself. This could be a terrible stagger if they decide for the pick, and it's going to be so. Komodo has got to figure it out with only 40 seconds left on the clock.
It's got to be that heavy pressure coming out from the Pharah. There's not enough hit scan to where it will be easily able to take care of it. If they're able to take out Anna for this first bit of the fight and possibly one of their DPS, they would have a much easier time getting this push through, but it just got to be shown that that kind of aggressive behavior needs to be dealt with and it needs to be jumped in first. You can't just walk in and just anticipate something. You have to be sure you walk in with a game plan, be able to just take out those targets.
Ooh, and red over blue once again. Windsplague picking up too. Just really good positioning, being an incredible nuisance, not being able to get taken out by Mishra. The Sun trying to bring some forward offense, but it's not going to be enough. And Salt.exe with a definite defining win here on Volskaya. They could win this one 3-1 if they keep playing like this, wouldn't you say?
It was incredibly difficult to see what was going on, but it would be just this moment alone really summed up how well Salt.exe was playing this evening. It was Genji in that back just taking out those targets and just pushing on and on and on and taking out those supports while the tanks were just having to be dealt with just with a tremendous amount of anti-nades, Reinhardt aggression, and Zarya lasering. And it definitely just summed up really hard just how incredibly painful it is to try and get that kind of stagger back onto your side.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point, once Salt.exe kind of had that forward momentum, it was just, it's like you were saying, Komodo just had a really tough time trying to figure out. I mean, you were saying though that the Symmetra wasn't really doing all that much, but I feel like with the Symmetra being enough of a diversion was really good for the Genji to kind of make his way into the backline and really just make it hard for Komodo to consider a proper angle of attack. So, they were trying to come in with the Goats comp, but they did have turrets on their flanks. They had Berkey up into the very front sight lines. Till was popping in everything. A Windsplague was throwing ridiculous nades from downtown. I mean, there was a lot to work against.
With that though, it would just definitely be just making sure to just keep up with the consistency of what your team comp really works well at and just keep applying the same amount of pressure. For Salt.exe, it definitely shows them doing 2-2-2 and it works very well for them. But for Komodo, they're just trying to see whatever sticks to the wall. That's why they've been trying so many different comps this evening. But it definitely showed that Goats was no force against with a 2 CP map. So let's just see how well that changes for them now that they're on a payload map and possibly they're able to change maybe a couple things of how they want to change it. And above all else, just try and see if they can get another W so that way we can get to the game 5 this evening.
All right, for those of you just coming in and joining us, Komodo is at 1, Salt.exe at 2 points, and Salt.exe possibly winning tonight's match, doing incredible work, especially with having Berkey, just incredible force in the forefront. Haxal, who is Genji, in their backline, making life difficult for Zanives, who is the support main, but really also using, the Zenyatta and the Lucio, just kind of getting caught out of position. The unfortunate part is when you do have a Genji looking for you, there's really not much you can do. It's either you win or you die. It's like Game of Thrones here.
That, or if you're going to have something that's going to just keep stopping that Genji from just diving, just having a hard stun to just immediately shut down that kind of heavy movement and just isolate that target and just take him down as quickly as possible. So it'd either be having the Brig just immediately hopping on that Genji and just stopping that sort of shenanigans, or even just having the McCree just time that flashbang perfectly to where it doesn't hit the deflect. And it is it is just making sure to just keep those comms crystal clear on what is happening, what needs to get done, and above all else, just making sure to keep those ultimates up and ready to go so that way if anything were to happen, you can play aggressively against it.
Alrighty, here they go. 5 seconds left on the clock before they go ahead and pick their initial heroes, and it's going to be Komodo on defense first. I mean, they've been trying the what was it? They tried the Orisa, and I don't feel like the Orisa was as successful as it could have been. I mean, what do you think here?
It all just came down to just that heavy snowball effect, just immediately just putting pressure onto that team and just taking them down super quickly and using their ultimates to just stop that any sort of shenanigans.
So do you the Ryan v Orisa battle? Who do you like? Do you feel like more often you're gonna see an Orisa lose a match against a Reinhardt?
Orisa should normally win those sort of matchups because it's just that whole ability of just locking down people that try and cross that shield barrier. But it also depends on how well the rest of the team can keep up and just keep working together to be sure to put that kind of pressure towards that sort of team.
Alrighty, and it looks like Salt.exe hopping in. Berkey as the Orisa on the point. Although Chillbro looking to try to get into the backline is Sips on the Reinhardt in the forefront. Although Chillbro looking to the backline, looking for Zan Ives, but the rest of the team manages to back him up. Mishra takes out Berkey with the Reaper, and Mr. Clever landing that hit, trying to take out the Widowmaker. Oh, manages to do it with an incredible leaping blow. Mishra in the forefront looking for a quick pick on Till, but this could be dangerous as he's getting caught out of position. Although Chillbro picks up the pick on Mishra, but here comes the res from Till. Windsplay gets brought back, and Genji looking for blood, but has to go ahead and back off. Oh no, Sips T in trouble, gets taken out by Genji himself. And here comes the rest of the team having to back off, looking for the picks. Here comes one, here comes two. Is that going to be three? And that's going to be three. Oh no, Mishra in a bad spot. Able to back off just a little bit, but Genji showing the superiority, takes him out. Incredible work here from Salt.exe as they're making their way forward. They don't have a lot further to travel. They may, Komodo may have one final push before they lose this point.
That heavy aggressive behavior coming out from the Genji, there just needs to be some sort of hard stun to just immediately stop that sort of shenanigans, but unless they're able to try and get that coordination down to where they can easily save their Reinhardt from getting antied, there's already bigger problems at hand.
Ooh, and it looks like the picks are coming in favor of Salt.exe, although Chillbro in the backline, but with the mix of Mishra and Clever making it work, get them taken out. Mr. Clever does have the ultimate, might be able to bring in the Bob at the right time. Genji getting backed up there by the shotgun. Hammer in the forefront, waiting in on that Reinhardt as Sips T makes his way in. The teams are incredibly coordinated at this point, but Bob getting put to sleep incredibly early. Here come the mines. Bob still trying to do work in the forefront. Cal manages to take out Bob, and Cal looking for a quick pick, but it's not going to be enough. Not just yet, but manages to get the pick on Clever. The backup coming in from Caxel, but gets taken out by Zan Ives. Oh no, and the Mercy Res not able to make it work. Mishra in the forefront. Berkey in some trouble as Mishra pushes his way in onto Cal. Gets taken out, and a Windsplague is gonna have to retreat or try to fight the Reaper. And it looks like the retreat is the better option.
That aggressive behavior, my goodness, both teams. That's all it boils down to. If you have an aggressive flanker such as Genji trying to push in on the backline, you have to have that either aggressive main tank that can keep pushing up, or just having a DPS that can get those picks and keep the team moving forward so that kind of heavy aggression doesn't keep happening for the defending team.
Ooh, and the anti-nade comes out as Aldo Chilbro gets into the backline looking for a pick. Berkey takes out Mishra as Aldo Chilbro tries to displace. Oh, and here comes Ives with the save, staying on the Genji. Haxal in trouble, but Hammer gets taken out, and here comes the hammer down, and it doesn't look like Sips T has any backup for this as Salt.exe makes their way forward. They've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and Komodo may have just one fight left before they lose this point B.
Like I was saying, it's that just setting up for that combo is absolutely something you don't want to be waiting for on the defending side, especially with that kind of heavy impact that the Genji with that blade has.
Oh, and here comes the Mai from Aldo Chilbro. Good protection. A Windsplake takes out Mishra, and Aldo Chilbro takes out Hammer. Bob comes out from the side of Komodo, and Bob may be everything that they need and more. As Aldo Chilbro tries to stay alive, but with the anti-nade, it's not going to be enough. 1.37 meters left to go, and Komodo finding their footing with 1 minute and 50 seconds left. They might be able to hold this off, but it's going to be an uphill battle at this point.
With that, there's only so much that Komodo can do now that they're limited on their ultimates. It just has to be, whenever you're trying to engage those fights, you want to be the first ones to engage within those moments, either ult-wise or non-ult-wise, because then the Genji has to rethink his actions on if he has to overcommit, or if he has to just come out and just immediately keep putting that kind of pressure along with the Rhine.
Oh, and here comes the pick, but Mishra with the counter ultimate manages to land too. Being the hero of this particular push, stop the Genji. Cal still in the back line, managed to demech Hammer, but that's still not going to be enough as Salt.exe has to go back and do another push.
Good stuff we're seeing this evening.
Ooh, Haxal takes out Hammer as the demeched Diva, and Aldo Chilbro and Haxal working in together, trying to get in, trying to make it work. Clever, looking for a good pick, but Berkey gets taken out by the shotgun. Great work by the hit scan. Sips T, left click W, trying to work his way in, and the Bob comes out from Mr. Clever. Oh, the minefield comes up, but it's not going to be enough. Bob doing some solid work as Cal is up on the roof trying to get a quick pick, but it's not going to be enough. Hammer on the hunt, not able to really take out Cal, and it's going to be another reset here from Salt.exe. They've only got 15 seconds on the clock. They got to try to run in. The ultimate comes out from Cal. They can see through the walls. They can see where they're going to go in. Aldo Chilbro comes up top, but Mr. Clever gets the pick on Cal, and this could be the sign of an early grave here for Salt.exe if they can't figure themselves out. Aldo Chilbro gets demeched, and Berkey and Sips T working their way forward. They're going for the Rhine battle. They know they could win it. Mishra comes out, takes in the picks, and here comes the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough till the only one left on point gets taken off. As we move into the overtime, the Doomfist comes out looking for pick, and Haxal trying to be the hero of the match, but no, gets taken out by Hammer, and that's going to be overtime as Komodo manages to hold it right before the point B grab. Great work here from Komodo, I have got to say.
You've got to be saying.
I've got to be saying.
With that though, it was exactly what was happening. That amount of aggressive behavior coming out from the defending team to immediately stop that sort of shenanigans coming out from Haskell, and just having them contemplate how are they going to take this kind of attack when they themselves are getting attacked on by Mishra and just getting picked off by Clever in the backline, just getting those precise picks, and just with the tanks trying to push up and just create some distance for the DPS to have a little bit of wiggle room to play on. That's going to be incredibly difficult for the attacking team to push up and take that advantage, especially when those backline picks is with the Genji aren't happening as successfully as they once were. So now I would definitely say for Salt.exe, they need a new form of attack in order to take this onto the defending side, or else Komodo's just going to do what they've been doing for this past couple of minutes and just take this map for theirs.
Man, I'm telling you what, Mishra was playing an incredibly proper and aggressive Reaper, making life hell for anyone that really kind of came into his territory. I mean, it's kind of what we were talking about early. I mean, Reaper can do an insane amount of work with incredible survivability.
I mean, not just incredible survivability, just absolutely amazing broken survivability. That 50% buff was massive towards them trying to just stop the goat comp, but the problem is that it's still Reaper has to do that damage accordingly, and he doesn't get the heal off of shields or bubbles. He only gets it off of just raw health from other people.
Right. So those hits have to really land. Yeah.
They have to land. If they don't, then it's all for in vain, and that's not a good time to be doing that.
All right. So we've got dive tanks here on Komodo with looks like a hit scan and a sniper as Mishra looks in for the picks, and that's going to be successful from Mishra. 2 picks on Komodo's side, and it looks like Salt.exe is having some issues here on the defense. Hammer bringing down the shield, but Mishra is just working that back line, making life difficult for Berkey as he tries to figure himself out. The Sun manages to get the finishing blow, and Mishra on fire at this point, manages to land it on Aldo Chilbro. Haxel finding his way back onto the point, but it's not going to be enough, and it's going to be dangerous if that Winston finds his way on there. Cal comes up into the front line trying to replace the Genji, but that Discord orb doing work, taking him out, and Berkey getting anti-nated, gets taken out by Clever himself, and Hammer using that momentum to push forward. The Genji in the back line, in danger, gets taken out by Clever once again. Great work here from Clever on the Ashe.
There needs to be a big change happening with how Salt is wanting to execute this. That aggressive behavior will not be shown anymore, especially with Cal and the Genji just not able to just follow through together and getting those backline picks. They're just going in one at a time and just getting picked themselves. If there needs to be a big change, there has to be something to where it's either more frontline shields to stop the Ashe from getting those backline picks, or better yet, just enough to where you can have that coordination to stop that coordinated dive against these targets.
Oh, here come the Dragons. Mishra managing to land one, but we're seeing red over blue at this point, managing to take him out. Hammer is the only one left on point, manages to get out with his life though. Incredible work here as Salt.exe finally finds their footing with 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Komodo already gearing up for another push.
They are sitting on a massive ult economy right now, and it's just absolutely stellar with them trying to push in and trying to get those picks.
Ooh, Genji tries to pop the ultimate.
Nice.
Woo, with the pick from Mishra. That is a shutdown if I've ever seen one. Zan Ives trying to help out, work the backline on Berkey, but Berkey manages to land the hammer down. Hammer though still working it and gets nano boosted, looking for a pick on Berkey, just bullying him, but the Brigitte pops the ultimate. A Wind's Plague in some trouble, gets anti-nated. Cal comes to the rescue, tries to help him out. Here comes the Meteor Strike, looking for a pick, and Wind's Plague finishes off the Sun. Hammer, the only one left, gets taken off. Clever still on the point, and Haxal looking for a pick, and that's going to be it. 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. This could be a victory here for Salt.exe if they can continue this hold.
That change over to the Brigitte, and especially the hardlock stun from the McCree flashbang as well, that is providing the Salt.exe many possibilities for them to just have that survivability, the longevity, and above all else, the lockdown of just keeping those tanks, those super heavy dive tanks, from just trying to throw their weight around as best as they could. And it was definitely shown that it was just something that needed to be changed on how it was going to be effectively handled.
Oh, and here comes a pick from Clever. Here comes the Graviton Surge. Looking for a pick. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Doesn't land it on anyone. Here come the Double Dragons. Oh, with Aldo Chilbro getting taken out by Mishra, and we're seeing some red come in. But Berkey looking for a pick. There comes two for the side of Salt.exe. Zan Ives, a nano boosted Zenyatta looking for a pick, and it's a 3v2, and Sips T managing to take out Berkey. Till getting burned on the point, gets taken out by Zan Ives. Cal, the only one left on point, looking for a pick on Mr. Clever, but Mishra switching over to the McCree, finishing this off. This is the home stretch. This could be the match 5 that we've been waiting for tonight. As Sips T develops himself, puts himself in a forward position, looking in to try to contest against Aldo Chilbro. Berkey charging in onto the point, tries to go in against Mishra. Aldo Chilbro backs him up, but Mishra gets out with his life. Cal looking for a pick on Mr. Clever, but blue over red at this point as Komodo really making life hell. And here comes the high noon. Oh, gets taken out, and Komodo managing to land this victory, folks. We are going to a game 5.
Woo! What a game! I definitely gotta say the best part about that was seeing the nano boost as Zenyatta.
Yeah.
That was quite a game for that one.
And that's the thing, though. I gotta applaud them for it. They actually did the pinch, and it made life difficult for Berkey. Berkey just could not figure out an exit strategy. Till tried to help, but honestly, when you do have that 3v1 pressure, there's only so much you can do.
Ooh, let's see. Oh my goodness.
Alrighty, so we are going into the map 5. Those of you at home, please give us a hashtag for who you are rooting for tonight. I mean, it could be anyone's game at this point. It's been back and forth, back and forth. I mean, like I said, it could be anyone's game tonight, man. I mean, what do you think they're gonna need to do here?
Like I was saying, just matching that aggressive behavior and just keeping up with everybody, just immediately stopping that kind of aggressive behavior coming out from the DPS, especially on Salt.exe side. As long as those two DPS are kept in check and they can't have that kind of funny business to keep pushing as needed, then Komodo can easily push forward with their tanks and with their supports and keep applying the same amount of pressure, especially with Xani's getting those easy pop-offs as Zenyatta, and then possibly just the Sun just getting off those anti-nades on Berkey just where he can't get healed and they immediately take down their frontline tank. But it all depends. It's a humongous chance at this point. It just has to be whichever team can play at their best and just can coordinate well with each other. It has to be done in this certain way, or else that team is just going to receive a significant L in the game 5 this evening.
Yeah, something I'm also wondering, or I'm also noticing, is Salt is still having that issue, at least on that hold for that first point. I feel like it was still very rushed. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I feel like people really undervalue how important your life is in the game. You know, and being taken out before the fight even starts is incredibly hazardly, especially when you are playing in the scrim environment. All you really need is someone to communicate to your backline, hey, they've got one down, and you can really bring the rain on whoever it is you feel like. You know, Zen.Ives was having those really clutch discords. I mean, that's gonna have to be something that Salt.exe is gonna have to try to beat.
Right, and if that is what has to be boiled down to this evening and just has to be taken care of when you're looking at those certain targets, that is something that has to be taken care of in the anticipation of when you're making that push. Where are you pushing? What targets are you going to push forward to? Is it you're going to keep letting the DPS just come up and just keep taking those backline picks? Or do you want to keep pushing forward, taking down the main tank, then the off tank, and then just keep taking them down one by one by one by one? It's just all about that plan of attack and just coordinating it well within the team. Especially at this higher level, you cannot have people going off and doing willy-nilly things and them just not getting any sort of follow-up whenever they're getting those picks. If Genji was able to get a double kill and the Reinhardt's just looking off and just doing whatever he wants to do, then that push is effectively just ruined, because unless the Genji can get another 2 picks to help compensate for that, it is just a dead push at that point.
A dead push indeed. And here we come in for the final one. Looking at the chat, there is a lot of love for Salt in the crowd, and some love from Mishra and Zen.Ives for their own particular team. So I mean, does it count as rooting for yourself, you know?
I mean, that's all up to how you want to do it.
Alrighty, and here they go in. 5 seconds for the assault. Mishra on the Reaper once again, and here come both teams charging in. Aldo Chillbro on his hamster. Looks like he's doing a little bit of scouting in the front lines and finds a good anchor point. Comes in from behind, trying to make life hell, and the pick on Zen.Ives comes out quickly as Cal picks up on the Sun. Hammer in some trouble, gets taken out by Haxel, and Mr. Clever on the point gets taken out. Incredible dominant performance here from Salt.exe.
with that, it's just what I was saying. That plan of attack is just well coordinated amongst the whole team, and especially with Cal getting those backline picks with the Symmetra turrets and just taking out the supports as quickly as possible.
Here they come in once again. Komodo trying to make use of the high ground, but they've got to be careful for the Symmetra that could make life difficult. Hammer looking for a quick pick and notices Haxel in the back line, and the 2v1 comes out clutch, takes him out. They're starting to get in onto the point. Aldo Chilbro in the back line looking for a quick pick, gets anti-nated and has to go ahead and back off. Berkey getting surrounded as Hammer tries to look in for a pick, goes in for that backline, and oh, he gets pinned. Are they going to be able to save him? And that's going to be a yes. Berkey swinging away, trying to keep the dream alive, and the hammer down comes out. The high noon comes in from Haxel, takes out 6T, and Salt.exe not going down without a fight as they reach the 50% mark.
Yeah, 50%. That's halfway to 100.
I'm so glad you could do math, buddy.
I mean, I graduated college to try and do that.
That little bit of simple math, but here comes the minefield from Aldo Chilbro. That minefield from Aldo Chilbro, looking to keep him at bay. Berkey still looking for where to go. Win's play could be in a bad spot, and here comes the nated Winston looking for a pick as Bob comes out for a little bit of backup. Hammer helps take out Till, and here comes the rest of this. Hammer on fire with the proper offensive push. Here they come in, trying to flank him out. Haxel in a bad spot, but the rest of the team just there to support him. That's incredible work there from Komodo as they now put themselves back onto the map, 81 to 10%.
Oh, I would say Big Old Boy did a really good job for Clever there for that ultimate.
Big old Babo.
No, dude, it's supposed to be Big Omnic Butler or something Omnic Butler.
Really?
Like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know, man. Michael Chu writes the lore for this. I don't. I'm just the interpreter.
All right, and Wind's Plague breaking it down, trying to keep people going. Haxel looking for the picks, but a counter Lucio ultimate to protect Misha, getting the picks. Here comes the die, manages to land it on one, takes out Berkey. Is it going to take out Cal? Cal gets taken out, and Aldo Chilbro gets taken out once again. 47 to 81% as Misha goes in for the kill on Till. And Komodo still not letting themselves get taken out. They've only got one ultimate on each side, though, as Komodo may be able to take this one home yet.
I would definitely say just hold your breath for that one because they're still sitting on quite a bit of ultimates. I want to see how well this kind of coordinated push between Aldo and Berkey comes out. There's been a lot of these opportunities where Haskell's just been playing this really forward McCree that just hasn't been doing as well, and it just doesn't really show as strongly for this team, and let's just see how well it works for him.
Oh, and here come the ultimates from the side of Komodo. Haxel takes out Mishra, and it looks like Salt.exe is starting to find their footing. O.C.C trying to dance around the McCree, but gets taken out as we move into 81%. Komodo may have gotten the lead, but Salt is still pushing their way in. Bob comes out, and Berkey protecting Till, trying to keep him alive. Zan Ives tries to push him out of the way, and it works as Zan Ives picks up the pick on Till. Here comes a nano-boosted hammer looking for a pick on Cal, and that's going to be one. He's looking for Haxel for two, but no, takes out Berkey, and the high noon comes out. Zips-T takes out Haxel, and now we're at the 99% mark. Oh no, a Winds Flake might be caught out of position as Hammer looks in. Till manages to keep him safe, keep him alive, but they've got to get onto the point, and no, Till not able to make it. Oh my goodness, Komodo from behind coming in with a clutch save. They win the first round.
What a beautiful game between these two teams this evening. That back and forth behavior was absolutely stunning to watch, and above all else, it was very well shown that it was just two little minor missteps that always were either on which side, and that just immediately shoved how the whole way it was pushing through. But definitely with Clever's big old boy pushing in and getting that high amount of DPS being pushed out and getting those picks with the rest of the team, that definitely helps in their behavior as well. I would definitely say if Salt.exe wants to get this behavior kind of in keep of if Salt.exe's behavior wants to keep it as strong as they possibly can, I would definitely say just have a more complementary team besides just a Reinhardt and a Hammond. It just, your Reinhardt's getting absolutely destroyed and there's nothing you can do about it, and it hurts the rest of what's happening. What? 2 picks? Very nice.
Yeah, Salt.exe coming out doing work, but Mishra looking for some quick picks. Gets taken out by a Winds Plague, though. And Sips.T getting demeched. We're seeing another solid hold here from Salt.exe as Mr. Clever, the only one left on point, gets taken out relatively quickly. And it looks like Salt.exe still going to be able to try to keep this going. Mishra switching over from the Reaper to the Pharah. Do you think this is really going to change much?
With absolutely no hit scan to dominate what the Pharah could be doing, it could be that the Pharah could get some backline picks and easily be able to put out that kind of heavy damage against Symmetra and the Reaper, but we just have to see how well this coordinated push works well with the rest of this team.
Alright, Mishra up into the skies as Hammer starts creating some solid space. Aldo Chilbro trying to get in that backline as the Prime battle comes in. Till takes out Hammer, and here comes the minefield. Clever takes out Haxel, though, and it looks like Komodo still trying to consider which angle they're going to try to take. Still, oh no, Sips.T getting demeched as Mishra starts clearing out these mines. Berkey about to lose his barrier and manages to do it. Bob rushing in onto the point. Berkey rushing in, trying to take out Bob, and here comes the ultimate from the Lucio to keep people alive, but Cal managing to land that pick, and here they come. Till popping out the ultimate, and Haxel finishing off the rest of the kills. Still ends that with a quadruple kill. Mr. Clever trying to get out, but a Winds Plague manages to pick up the kill. 63 to 0%. Salt.exe very aggressive, very powerful at this stage. There's not a lot that can be done with the time left, or is it?
I would definitely say there needs to be just one good team fight that can just change the odds of how well this is happening. To be fair, Salt.exe did dump a lot of ultimates into that previous fight, and they are now just looking at 0 ultimates looking into this next fight, while Komodo has a couple at their disposal that they can use. So it just depends on how well they can utilize those ultimates together, and they can just keep putting that kind of pressure onto there.
Oh, and it looks like Aldo Chilbro getting put to sleep in the back line, and the picks are starting to come in favor of Komodo. Berkey getting anti-nated, and here comes a Diva Bomb, but no, doesn't look like it lands on anything, but Mr. Clever still doing some work, and a Winds Plague gets taken out by Sips.T, and at 99%, Komodo manages to save the point. Incredible work here as they start moving in. They cannot lose a single fight from here on out.
I think definitely with the switch over to McCree and just getting that hard lock stun against the just ever-present Hammond that's just right in front of everybody's face, and just getting that Reaper as soon as he's just done with his Wraith form, I would definitely say let's just see how well Clever can just keep working alongside his team and just getting those backline early picks. And if not, then let's just see how well Mishra can with the Pharah.
Oh, and here comes the ultimate from the Pharah, takes out Till early, and here comes one. Is there going to be 2? And that's going to be 2. Cal backing up in the corner, gets taken out once again as Komodo not letting themselves go down without a fight. They are now at 40% to 99. Salt.exe, all they are is one win away from finishing this round. All they need to do is clear it. That's it. Clear them off, and that's it.
Clear them off, and then we can have a full bang up job of how well this is going to look.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely nutty if they manage to hold it. Here they come, Salt.exe running in, Cal in the forefront, Aldo Chilbro coming out, bringing out the minefield, taking out Hammer, and that could be huge if they can capitalize on it. They managed to land it, overtime coming in, Mr. Clever looking for a pick, but the Lucio coming out in time to save. The Kamehameha coming out from Till, helping out with the support and the damage. Mishra still off, and this is going to the very end. We are going in for all the marbles here on Ilios. This is absolutely nutty. Oh my goodness.
Nutty.
Nutty.
This is very, very well done.
Alright, for those of you at home, I do want you to know Haxel is Genji, playing on his like 12th ult at this point. So that's who Haxel is. Alright, man. So real quick before they start, what is the win condition for either team?
It has to be just getting that kind of heavy aggressive behavior, keeping those DPS in check with either hard stuns or just getting those early picks on them, and just taking out those frontline tanks and just taking out that frontline shield to just stop any sort of shenanigans that could be stopping this kind of backline.
All right, we've got a Reese's here on both sides, but Sips T actually going on the Roadhog, and looks like they're going to get taxied in by the Lucio relatively quickly, but Salt.exe sets themselves up. There's a quick pick on one of the turrets, and Berkey taking out Sips T. This is huge here for the side of Salt.exe, pushing effectively the rest of the team back. And they're using the Lucio to back themselves up. The Sun in a bad spot, and the rest of Salt.exe happens to land into the forefront. They're putting a lot of pressure. Berkey taking out Hammer, and Aldo Chillbro getting out just barely. As we now go into a Salt.exe positive game, as Mishra switches over to the Hanzo. This is gonna get wild.
This is already wild. This is quite phenomenal just to see these two teams play this evening. It is absolutely phenomenal just coming out and just seeing how well these two coordinated teams are playing against each other.
Oh, here they go in, just kind of mashing into each other. Haxal takes out Clever, and more red over blue as a Komodo can't seem to find their footing. Aldo Chillbro and a Winds Plague lighten up the scoreboard right now as they're landing their picks. Incredible work here by a Winds Plague as he manages to land, what was that, a triple or a quad?
That looked like to me a triple kill, and he was punching his way to victory.
Gotta love it, man. Just swinging away and trying to make it work. It's like the weird off Reinhardt. Alright, here they come in once again. Komodo switching it up just a little bit more now that they have a hamster online. Oh, and here comes the drum, looking to make the rest of the team powerful. Cal brings up the shield, and the rest of the teams are trying to work in. Till pops out the Kamehameha, and it still doesn't seem like Komodo is able to make anything work, but they jump on Till, making his life hell as they take him out during his ultimate, and the rest of the team is just diving, using Zen Ives to taxi them through. Berkey taking out Hammer, and it looks like it's still not going to be enough. Sips T getting demeched down in the room underneath. The two baby divas not able to make it work. Here comes the High Noon looking for a pick, but Haxal lands it on Mishra, and that's going to be huge. 89%. Salt just 9% away from making this victory here tonight. Here comes the breaking it down from the Lucio. They're still on to the point. A solid presence, and Hammer starts swinging away as an angry monkey. Haxal getting caught into a corner as he starts pushing away. They might just need this. Oh, Hammer managing to land 2 picks with the ultimate on Berkey. Still pushing in, still pushing forward. And oh no, a Winds Plague getting taken out as the ultimate comes out from the hamster. And it looks like Komodo saving themselves at 5% to 99. They are once again in a position in which they cannot lose. They have got to play a perfect game from here on out.
There was so many times where just those backline turrets were just doing so much damage to that team. I would definitely say for Sips T as a diva, you got to be sure you're focusing on taking out those turrets and just immediately trying to add that kind of pressure for Clever, just as on the Brigitte, to just keep pushing in and just keep getting everybody down as quickly as possible.
Ooh, and the ultimate comes out from Aldo Chillbro. Doesn't land on anyone. And we're seeing some blue over red as Clever takes out Cal. And the rest of Salt.exe gonna have to back out as Haxal might be in a bad spot. Gets taken out by Hammer. And Aldo Chillbro trying to do everything possible to not lose the mech and trying to get staggered. And they're still pushing in. But Berkey comes out and saves the day. 50% to 99. Salt is one victory away from taking this one home. The ultimate comes out from Mr. Clever as Komodo still not deterred, pushing their way in, incredibly aggressive. Hammer pops out the ultimate as Cal pops out the shield. Berkey gets taken out by Hammer, and Hammer doing some solid work. The ultimate comes out from Haxal, but it's still not going to be enough. The area denied by Mishra, looking for a pick, and oh no, the D-Mech from Aldo Chillbro as he goes in for a quick reset. 75 to 99%, folks. They've only got, what is it? What's the magic number? 85%?
85%. After that moment, if they are not able to take that fight, this is one of their last moments to try and take this fight as best as possible.
Cal looking for a way to get in. He started looking in for the side, and here comes the ultimate from Berkey. Oh, this could be dangerous, though. As they're making their way in, Mishra's looking for a pick, but Zan Ives lands the picks. Oh no, the Sun getting jumped, but this could be dangerous. Here comes the ultimate from Sips T, and that's not going to be it. Here's a counter ultimate, not going to land on anything either. The High Noon, this is their only chance, but no, Sips T manages to block it just in time. He could be the hero for tonight. Mr. Clever swinging it away, looking for the picks. Cal getting taken out, and it looks terrible here for the side of Salt.exe. Hammer still pushing away, taking out Aldo Chilbro. Just one more left onto the point, and that Lucio is going to be it as Komodo lands the victory with the 3-2. Unbelievable games here tonight, folks.
My goodness gracious, oh me, oh my, what a set of games witnessed evening. Oh, that's odd.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh me, oh my, what a set of games we have been witnessing this evening.
That was an insane set of matches. It was a nail biter all the way
For that
through.
last one, absolutely, that last one definitely a nail biter. It was close. It was those little itty bitty moments, but I would definitely say with those, there were three things that definitely changed how that game was definitely played. Clever's aggressiveness onto the tanks, definitely showing that Sips T can keep the clock off for the McCree from those Deadeyes ever landing, and applying so much pressure onto the Orisa to where she has no way of setting up, and that 400 health just makes it look like she just is this little itty bitty DPS just absorbing that much damage.
Yeah, no,
But absolutely, it was a very close game tonight for these two teams. They played absolutely wonderful this evening.
Yeah, they played their hearts out. They played their hearts out, and I'm really proud at the way all of them played. It seemed like no matter what, they kept trying. They kept putting their heads together and really trying to make it work. And honestly, that's sometimes all you can do. Whenever you're trying to really keep that positive mentality in a game of Overwatch, or at least that's my take on that. But all right, we have hit the end of our program. We have seen the legendary Game 5 as Salt.exe just barely losing at the very end, but it was still an incredible game. Those of you at home, please give us a hashtag for who you think your player of the match is. Crunch, who is yours for tonight?
Let's see. I would definitely say, this is going to be a really tough one, but I would definitely say, it's hard. Everybody did an exceptionally wonderful job this evening, but there was one person that kept sticking out really well just based on how all the picks were definitely going down, and that definitely had to be Genji. Genji was one of those characters that just easily was able to pick up on those certain key points on when he needed to switch, what character he needed to switch to. Even though the hero pool was very limited, he still did an absolutely wonderful job on keeping that high amount of pressure onto those teams, and above all else, getting the picks and just moving forward with the rest of his team. And I definitely gotta say Genji is my player of the match this evening.
Alrighty, Danks, who do you got, man?
My vote is for Sifty, saving the point, the last point for the McCree ult with his defense matrix.
Yeah, no, definitely Sips T was playing an incredible game, especially at the end there. But honestly, though, him and Aldo Chilbro, they were all playing incredibly well. And that's the thing, I feel like I was saying his name a lot, so I'm gonna give it tonight to Aldo Chilbro. I was really impressed with his positioning, with the way he was in. He was getting caught out of position a little bit, but ultimately he was being that backline nuisance, and he was playing a relatively solid diva. So, and that's really what you need. You need to also have players that are concerned with what is the focus target, where do I need to be, and how do I need to get there. So Aldo, you get this one for tonight, man. I was really impressed with your gameplay tonight. Alrighty, and I'm seeing a lot of love here for Sips T. So Sips T getting so much love, and a little bit of the sun here. But that's really all I'm seeing right now. I think I saw one for Till, and that's Till and Clever. So once again, guys, incredible work here tonight. These are incredible games. Really, that's what that was. I was really happy to see the way that things have turned out. And now we've come to the end of the game. So please, folks, please let everyone you know, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your cousin, tell whoever you got to just come on down, apply, and really we've got ranks, or we play from silver to diamond. Tonight is our diamond match, and we're going to be seeing Game of Thrones versus the Assassins on Wednesday, Titans v Void, which is the O.C.C. classic, on Thursday, and then O.C.C versus Frost on Saturday, which O.C.C versus Frost is the Platinum division. So if you have an interest in wanting to play in these kind of organized scrims, we love to commentate, and we're really trying to do the best we can in order to grow the community and really just have an environment in which learning is a must. So if there's anything you can take away from this, at least it's just understand, what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, and then what you can incorporate into your gameplay in order to rise up into the ranks. And we've been seeing that a lot. For those of you who have been sticking by with us since the beginning, Mr. Clever has actually started off in a Platinum team and now is moving his way to Diamond. I think he is now in Masters, which is incredibly great to see. I love to see players going up. The Sun also used to be in a Plat team as well, now in Diamond, and still doing great things. So, with that in mind, if you want to be part of our stream teams, go ahead and apply. If you want to be a coach, you want to be a player, right underneath is also the way to apply. Crunchbite, do you have anything?
I have nothing for you, my dude.
Alrighty. So, one final thing. On the 11th, which is next Monday, we will have a special guest. Just keep your ears open for when we announce who this special guest will be. But if that's it for the night, I am Loutrex.
And I like to blow bubbles in my milk.
I fucking hate you.